Hi, this is Farel. Welcome to my video and YouTube channel. This is the continuation of page 9 of ROBot Tod. I don't remember exactly what day it is on the 70-day things, but I'll put it in the description there. And yeah, here I'm just doing some ink washes over the pencils. I already lettered it, and yeah, I was just thinking about how like this page has taken me way longer than I think than all the other pages. Maybe as long as like the last 3 pages combined. This has taken me to do. It's scene switch from the last page where we had Robot Todd inside that wizard's keep, being tortured and uh, you know inspected and all that by the bad wizard person. And this is Fern Fells, and she's a brand new character, first appearance. I mean, I've done some drawings of her, just like character studies and stuff, but this is her first sequential appearance. And here I'm using a Raphaël 8404 brush, and I think I'm pretty much using just straight black and some lighter washes to add some depth and try to make things pop a little bit before I go in with the watercolors. I was being a little, I guess, shy or reticent to dive in with the watercolors for some reason, even though I left a lot of it uninked. And the idea was that I was going to just look at the previous pages that were shot from outside, or drawn, or I drew the exterior shots that I drew. Man, I am not doing good tonight with talking. Yeah, so I figured it would just be easy instead of inking it all and kind of it all looking sort of flat, like, oh, this is all the same line weight, that I would do kind of like an atmospheric perspective so we can get like, oh, this character, Fern Fell, she's really far away from it, kind of watching it using this like sci-fi magnifying glass thing, or telescope type thing, even though it's not technically a telescope because it doesn't telescope. It's just a ring. It's sort of like like an iPad or something, I guess, is what I was thinking, with like a little camera on it that magnifies it big enough that she can like collapse all down really small and put in her backpack. I don't even know if I'm going to show that happening. I just thought like, oh, she probably wouldn't just be like sitting there watching from a great distance without some kind of like scope or something to keep her eye on it. And plus I thought it would be kind of fun as the scene to sort of like have the explosion happen in real life and on camera, but we kind of see it through the camera's perspective and then see like the reverse angle where you can kind of see through it to the other side, see part of her boot there. So I got a lot of things going on here where it's her phone she's like looking for service for her cell phone, and then it gets service right when the explosion happens. And then she also gets a phone call right then too. She's being like pelted by all these little rocks and stuff. So yeah, I was there's a next couple pages. There's going to be like a lot more stuff going on, and this sort of kicking it off. Yeah, I want this comic to be really just nonstop action. Hopefully there won't be any boring bits with long dialogue and stuff. It's all just going to be like quick and I was about to say fun, but I this comic's gonna have some dark stuff to it, but it'll be all ages. I don't plan on doing like It Will All Hurt or Proximus and Daria especially had a lot of swearing in it. It was kind of like one of the points of doing that book is I wanted it. Yeah, but I'm going off topic here. Let's focus on the Robot Tod page at hand here. And yeah, so at this point here, I'm probably just staring at it and putting off doing this background here, and then okay, I got to get this background done. So I just kind of went in with some blue and some green for the sky, and it looks like I'm working on the tower part first, and I probably just used a combo of black ink and black watercolor, which kind of creates some problems sometimes doing that, but it's yeah, sometimes it's just easier. I'm like, okay. And one of the things biggest difference I noticed with that stuff is that the ink always dries lighter. So sometimes I'll put down like I think is like a fairly dark wash of India ink, and it looks like just straight black. Like I just put, 100% black on there. And it's like, oh, I was kind of wanting to be a little lighter. But, wait a couple of minutes, and then it's like way lighter than I wanted, almost every time. So I usually have to do layers where, and eventually, I kind of build up to it, and then eventually have to go over the whole thing again with just straight black at the spots that I really want to punch it up, like the little micro shadows, like the shadow under her skateboard and under her boots and stuff and her gun. Like I want all that to be straight black, like her hat and her hair. I wanted that to be as black as I could possibly get it. The problem is like, when we do watercolor washes over it, it picks up the ink sometimes. So you're going to have to keep, or I have to keep laying it down. Ideally, I would like to just start from the lightest color to the blackest color, and then don't go over everything more than once. Just do it all once, just like a machine. That would be great. But I still haven't trained myself to do that. I have a lot of the same bad habits that I had when I started. I feel like my work's gotten a little more I've gotten a little more efficient at producing work, but I feel like a lot of this stuff takes a lot of concentration, where it's like, okay, well, now I'm going to focus on just getting this thing finished, and then maybe I'll have like a period where I need to practice doing it this other way that's a little more effective. But for right now, this is where my skill level's at. So this is what I'm doing here. It's not as frustrating as it used to be. I feel like there's a lot of even doing that explosion on the lower left hand corner, you can see the difference between those last two shots, where I looked at that for maybe like a week and was like, that looks like garbage. I don't know how to draw the explosion. And then it just took one last session of me sitting down and being like, okay, I'm just going to, look at a couple pictures of explosions, even like kind of cartoony looking ones, and just, add some white paint and try to get something organic. And then I was fairly happy with how that came out. It's like you get the point. You know what happened. You know what's happening. It's blowing up. It doesn't have to look like a perfect realistic explosion. It's like, okay, you understand what's happening there. And even in the last panel, it's like, light traveling faster than sound. So it's like the sound shockwave kind of hits her after she sees the initial explosion there. And that's it for this time. There's the finished scanned page, and appreciate you watching this. Thanks. And I have a Patreon too if you want to check that out. Bye, y'all.